can't deny I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you.
Memories die out too hard. And we were traveling mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we couldn't higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling mountains just to find the loudest seas. We sat down by the fire, knowing we couldn't higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Trying to forget you. I'm all alone in a ghost town. There's a beautiful madness inside my soul, and I can't stop thinking of you. Walking on the lonely avenue. Are you? Are you? Are you? My love so wild, please give me a sign. My love so wild, please give me, baby. My love so wild, please give me a sign. My love so wild, please give me a sign. You make my heart beat faster. I'll be a sweet disaster. Deep in my bones, I want your love, love, love. Take off your clothes, clothes, clothes. I want your love, love, love. You drink my rose, rose, rose. I want your love.
You know, I'm sorry, I won't make it to your party. Got caught up in my own selfishness, it won't let me be a part of this. And I know I've started drifting off every second. I can't wait to leave as soon as I arrive. I count the seconds. Down and down we go, and we'll touch this place we know. Before all of us takes the chance and breaks this time. I know it's pathetic. Fuck it, yeah, I said it. Try to tell it like it is. There's a chance that I'll regret it. So let's go, let's end this. I delete before I send it, and we can play pretend like we haven't reached the end yet. Down and down we go, and we'll touch this place we know. Before all of us takes a chance and breaks this time.
My name was safest in your mouth. And why did you have to go and spit it out? Eyes, it was the most familiar sound, but it sounds so dangerous to me now. Questions for you. Number one, tell me who you think you are.
Bet responsibly at ComeOn.com. New UK customers only. Minimum £10 bet on odds of 1.8 or more qualifies for £10 free bet. Term supply.
Direct Line guaranteed to beat any public liability insurance quote for the same cover. Can your insurance do that? Search Direct Line Public Liability Insurance. New customers only. Qualifying criteria apply. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
Russia 2018 on TalkSport with Just Eat, the app that takes off lackluster cooking.
Anthem ahead of their game with Belgium. If you want to listen to that, it's live on TalkSport 2, or you can stick with us as we build up to England's first game of this tournament. 08717 22 Toby Gillies.
Good afternoon. Coming up, police plea after train tragedy, and in sports.
Roman Torres on this occasion is leading the huddle for the Panamanians in the centre of the field, just to make your first appearance at a World Cup final. For these players, this is just going to be a moment to savour.
I've been there, Adam. We did it. We did it in 1990 with Ireland. We did, the European Championships in '88. But the World Cup in Italy was just an amazing feeling. So, yeah, absolutely, for the first time. Except, maybe the difference is people thought we should have been there before. Not so sure about Panama, but they're here today, and they'll be up for it, no doubt.
England's group is about to get underway then here in Sochi. That's ahead, of course, of England playing Tunisia later on TalkSport, kicking off at 7 o'clock UK time. Before that, though, we get to have a look at these boys. Belgium, who, of course, in the FIFA rankings in the top 6, probably favourites to win the group. Panama, of course, the underdogs. But you just never know on those special days at World Cups what might happen. They are all in white with some blue sleeves, Panama. They're kicking from right to left in the opening 45 minutes. The traditional all red for Belgium, and we are underway. And it's Panama who immediately look to get that ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. A bit of indecision at the back, but the ball safely into the arms away to our left-hand side of Thibaut Courtois. And Belgium will look to build from the back to start with. It's their 13th World Cup finals. Back in 1986 they had their best result when they finished 4th. They did reach the quarter-final, as I mentioned, though, in 2014, which was their first World Cup appearance for 12 years before being defeated by Argentina. And they're in here already down the left-hand side with Carrasco. Cuts that back across the penalty area to Lukaku at the edge of the 6-yard box, who tries to get the shot away but wins his side the first corner. In fact, the referee, I think, has given the goal kick, and Lukaku is protesting his innocence, but it will be a goal kick to Panama.
Well, they want the corner kick. It was a great ball from De Bruyne to Carrasco. I was concerned there. I wonder with the two of them in midfield, with Witsel and De Bruyne up against their 3, but they've gone and nailed them, really pressed them high up the pitch, won the ball back, and I don't know yet whether it's a corner or not, but he's been given a goal kick. But sign of things to come.
Jean Pinedo, who is the goalkeeper for Panama, is 135th cap today, the leading all-time international for the country. Out wide on the right-hand side, early bit of possession here for Armando Cooper. Cooper going back towards halfway into Murillo, who will then try to push his way forward, but Hazard closes him down quickly. And a little bit of time in possession here for Panama with Gabriel Gomez, who then tries to rake a ball out to the left-hand side to find young Rodriguez, who goes up for the header, but loses out on this occasion to Thomas Meunier. And Belgium have possession again back inside their own half.
Just with the shape of the two teams, Adam, if one of them's playing wing-backs, are they going to, the two wide players for Mertens and Hazard for Belgium, are they going to track them back? Are they going to let them run onto the full-backs? They probably feel confident enough to leave the 3 lads up front. But that diagonal ball's always going to be onto the wing-back. And as you can see, sitting, not going to put any pressure high up the pitch.
2 minutes in on TalkSport 2. Belgium 0, Panama 0. Forward come the Red Devils down the right-hand side. A raking ball forward out to the far side, but it's headed down comfortably by Murillo, and forward will come Panama now on that far touchline. You can hear the roars from their support every time they venture into the Belgian half, and that could be the first free kick of the game, and it is. The challenge from Boyata is penalised, and it's going to be a free kick for Panama, level with the edge of the box.
Yeah, Boyat, I think he's gone with the outside of his foot to challenge him, and he's no need to. He's quick enough to stand up and let him do it, and I think that's, I don't know, he's been drafted in, of course, and he's made a mistake. This is the chance for them, a really good chance. Can they get a good delivery in?
It's only an 8th cap for Boyata in this Belgian side, such as the embarrassment of riches they have defensively. Eric Davis, who delivers a decent ball here, is over the top of this free kick out wide on the right for Panama, and it has to be headed clear by Kevin De Bruyne at the edge of the 6-yard box. It's lifted back into the danger zone in what was more of a shot really, but loops comfortably into the arms of Thibaut Courtois. And then on the far side, Kevin De Bruyne is just given a little boot in the air by Eric Davis, and the referee immediately tries to stamp on that.
Yeah, it was a shame with the free kick. He wanted a better delivery. He really wants to be going out at the far post and missing everybody rather than hitting that front man. But going back to Boyata, he's taking company's place, which is a big boost to Phil, of course. And even just that tiny little mistake, he should have stood on his feet, not given the free kick, but fortunately for him, they've got away with it.
How much of a risk is it, Mick, because Company may well only be fit for that final game of the group stages against England, and with Vermaelen injured as well, it's a big call from Roberto Martinez.
It is, because if someone else gets injured and they're struggling for players, but I guess they think he's worth the risk, and I probably think he is as well.
Here's Alderweireld on this far side. Didn't see much football, of course, for Tottenham throughout the campaign, having picked up an injury, and then the breakdown in communication regarding a new contract. We have yet to see what will happen to him across the summer. Here's Hazard on the far side on the run immediately for Belgium, edge of the penalty area. Kevin De Bruyne just turns and then slips it out wide on the left-hand side. Carrasco to the byline. He's closed down immediately, but looks to cut back onto his right foot, and then is forced backwards again. A left-footed ball eventually does come in from Vertonghen, and it spins through the penalty area. And out of play on this near side, does it? Yes, it does eventually. Meunier tried to keep it in, but the ball runs out of play. Yeah,
Meunier topped the linesman. I can't believe they didn't cross that. They're going to a great position. Kevin De Bruyne has put the ball in behind their back four. They've got, well, back four, back five they've got his back. And he didn't put the ball in. They've got 4 people in the box. Put crosses in. Crosses and shots. They checked back and they've lost it. It's faded out to nothing.
Carrasco, of course, who went out to China in January, doubled his pay packet. Many said, not the best of career moves for a man who's only 24. But he's made the move. £10 million he gets now instead of the 5 that he was getting from Atletico Madrid. And well, he had kind of fallen out of favour with Diego Simeone as well.
Could he not manage on the 5, Adam?
Clearly not, Mick. Thoughts of Mick McCarthy, who's alongside this game in Sochi. 5 minutes played on TalkSport 2. Belgium 0, Panama 0. Must be a struggle on $5 million a year.
I wouldn't know. Somebody once said to me a long time ago, you can only sit on one armchair at a time, and surely it's enough.
Meunier into the penalty area. Here's a chance for Carrasco with the first shot of the game, and it's saved by Pineda quite comfortably at the edge of his 6-yard area. No power on that from Carrasco from the left-hand side.
Probably a shame he's coming in. Is he on his wrong foot? Probably yes. Of course, he's the left-sided player. He's coming on his right foot. He doesn't get a great contact, but they open them up.
De Bruyne forward to Carrasco on that far side. Good start here from Belgium, who are away again. Hazard with room to run into here. Hazard towards the edge of the penalty area. Still going, Hazard tees it up at the edge of the penalty area on this near side. The shot is saved by Pineda. The effort on target that time from Mertens. And Pineda just palms it away, and they have themselves the first corner of the game on the right. Hazard, who's captaining this Belgian side, got to take it. Ian Mertens, terrific options in support for Lukaku. Here's Mertens again inside the penalty area, goes down, wants the spot kick. Referee not interested. May well see some VAR action, you never know, as Hazard puts that through to Mertens again, and it's blocked out by Torres at the edge of the 6-yard box. And Panama managed to clear into touch on this near side.
Panama were leaving 2 up, at least 2 up for that corner kick. They took it, so there was nobody in the box. No, it's not a penalty.
Well, it's poor from Mertens, went down very easily, didn't he, Mick?
It's dreadful, he's cheating. He's trying to get a penalty.
7 minutes played in Sochi, 0-0.
They're going to have to get a grip of this, though, I'm afraid, Panama. Adam, and it can't carry on like this, or they get 1 goal, they'll open up completely.
It looks fairly adventurous, doesn't it? It's not like they're sitting back and just trying to contain. They are willing to push on and press on to this Belgian back line, but they can't get possession of the football to even attempt that at the moment. Alderweireld Tries to clip a ball through towards the edge of the penalty area where the run had been made by Thomas Muniek, but it's into touch again off Davis on this near side. Throw in again, taken by Muniek. Short back to Alderweireld, and the play is condensed inside the Panama half away to our right. Here's Vertonghen on that far side, a mainstay of this Belgian side. 100th cap against Portugal recently, of course, where his mum came out on the pitch to present it to him, and a lovely touch at just 31 years of age as well, already over 100 caps for the Tottenham man.
A terrific player, isn't he?
Here's Alderweireld. Whether he'll be a Tottenham player for much longer, who knows. Out wide on the left-hand side is Carrasco. Down the line, running into spaces to Mertens again. The 31-year-old is easily dispossessed this time by Armando Cooper. His clearance, though, is not the best, and once more Belgium will win back possession. That's been the story of the opening 8.5 minutes.
They can't get out of their half now. I thought they tried to start pretty positively, actually, Panama, and then that's when the chance Belgium were seem to be running through them at will. I think we're going to see this for the rest of the game now, where they're just sitting back in, defending their half, hoping that they don't concede. Maybe get a free kick or a corner.
Murillo on that far side gets it back short from Cooper, put under pressure by Carrasco, but does enough to win the throw. In fact, it's gone the way of Belgium. Midway Panamanian half on that left-hand side. 9 minutes on the clock. 0-0. First game in England's group of this 2018 World Cup. A reminder, all 64 throughout the tournament, alive across the Talk Sport network. Right now, the build-up to England's opening game against Tunisia with Adrian live from Russia. That's over on Talk Sport while we bring you this game here on Talk Sport 2, just to get an idea as to how the two other teams are going to start their campaign. Mertens already forcing a save out of Pinedo. It's a free kick here for Panama, just short of halfway. They qualified actually for 5 under-20 World Cups, but have yet to win a game at those finals, and people put most of the Panamanian growth down to Harry Stempel, who left the Millwall Community Outreach. You may know him, or at least heard of him.
I know of him, yes, I do, yes.
He went out there and took over the youth football setup in Panama, of course a country that very much had baseball and basketball and boxing as its foremost sports.
Yeah, but as you said, they've won all those underage competitions, and yet the team's been very, very senior. It's been the oldest team. But where are all the players gone? What are they all doing?
Well, there's 5 or 6 of them that have carried on as the kind of lifeblood of the team now, but they once more are looking towards youth to see what they can find. Just short of halfway, Panama trying to get forward but lose possession far too easily. It's picked up though by Armando Cooper at the edge of the centre circle, and he will push them forward down the right-hand side as far as Murillo, who just takes the sting out and tries to bring it down to a walking pace, which I think in many ways will suit Belgium, who will then try and counter with Mertens, who lifts the ball forward that's deflected into the path of Hazard. Torres is back. Oh, it's a pull-back pass, and Hazard puts it into the side netting. It was Torres trying to give it back to Pinedo, and he underhit the pass. Hazard nipped in, but can only put it into the side netting on the left-hand side. Early chance for Belgium, and an early mistake from Panama.
I cannot believe what he's done. He was going out. Hazard had given up. He wasn't going to chase that. And he's just tried to read him, Hazard, that he's going to go back there, and it's the centre-half trying to play. Just let it run out for a goal kick. He's got away with one.
Well, it was Roman Torres who scored that goal against Costa Rica that secured their place here. He plays for the Seattle Sounders, but he did look at potential moves at one point to Nottingham Forest and also to Swansea. He's 32 years of age now. It's a 111th cap for him today.
His heart rate will be going slightly higher just now. He'll need to calm down.
He's also got a tattoo of the World Cup on his thigh too, after he scored what was been well known now as the ghost goal that qualified Panama for these finals. Good header one there at the back quite comfortably from Alderweireld, from Vertonghen when they tried to go long, and it's Courtois who picks up the pieces.
It's whether they can break, even them just stopping the goalkeeper throwing it there. They really want, Belgium almost want them to attack. They want them to put the ball on, get players up the pitch so they can break on them with their front three. It's when they get back in their half and sit in and make it really difficult. That's when they're going to have to pick a real, a perfect pass all the time.
Sloppy there from Harold on this near side. He gives the throw to Panama on halfway. It is Group G, the opening game of Group G at this 2018 Russia World Cup on TalkSport 2, and it's 0-0, 12 minutes in, and a foul. This time on the right-hand side, Mounier commits it, and it's his challenge on Rodriguez that goes punished by our Zambian referee. And it will be Torres at the back to bring it forward now for Panama. Over halfway to Murillo, and then gets it back from Cooper, who plays his football in Chile. It's launched forward again by Torres. There's a few of them in the MLS, 6 in total in this Panamanian side who ply their trade in America. And we're going to get the first yellow card of the game here as well. And it's for a foul again by Mounier, his second in succession on Rodriguez.
I don't know as he caught him here. No, De Bruyne are delivering them. They've got some really big, powerful players there.
I think
obviously don't fancy it.
Well, Hazard's going to have a go with this one, I think, out wide on the right-hand side.
But do it like they mean it. Put it in, make your runs. Who knows?
Hazard to deliver, and it's towards the near post, and it's a decent header away that time, defensively by Blas Perez. And it goes into touch, only about 10 yards inside the Panamanian half, and Belgium have themselves a throw, which Mounier will take. Back to Axel Witsel in the centre circle. Cap number 91 for him today, heading towards the century. Oh, and there's a short little layoff by Carrasco, and they've given it away here to Panama. Now a chance to counter, but it's not really got the pace on that right-hand side to drive it forward there, Godoy. And he got caught in the end. He had 2 around him, but never really looked threatening enough. It didn't like he had the speed to get forward.
There was a little panic there, wasn't there, from Belgium, giving the ball away easy, and thought that they got back quickly, very quickly. Didn't give him a chance to break on them.
Here's Vertonghen, seeing plenty of the ball, he and Alderweireld, just inside the Panamanian half. Here's Boyata, not really been tested so far. Hazard just outside the centre circle. The Chelsea man lifts it out wide to the right-hand side. There's too much on it. He was trying to find the run of Thomas Mounier, but it spins away and out for what will be a goal kick to Panama away to our right-hand side. The one figure, Mick, that we're not seeing in the game, Romelu Lukaku.
Not at all. But he's a centre forward. I think if you can get the ball wide and put crosses in. To be fair, he's just been, you know, he was stopped by Roman Torres. He was in at the far post. He looked like he got an easy tap in, and Torres has cleared it. But it doesn't look to me like playing to him. Can he get it wide? Can he get crosses in? Can he put the ball into him? He's barely had a touch, has he?
No, I don't think he has.
Certainly. There's a lot of players in that half, though, Adam. There's a lot of Panamanian players that are just blocking that up, blocking the roll into him.
Well, there is Lukaku with a little chest down into Hazard. He then tries to feed the ball out wide onto that left-hand side where Mertens had made a run, but in the end Torres will get it clear from the edge of the penalty area again. And it comes down to the centre circle. Witsel's there and he's fouled, and it will be a free kick for Belgium, just inside their own half. He's up and about. No need for treatment, but a talking to for Blas Perez, who just kind of steamed in with a real forwards challenge.
Yeah, he turned into him. He realised he was going to get clattered, and he was going down all the time.
121st cap for him. A ball swung into the Panamanian penalty area, headed away comfortably again by Fidel Escobar. And now up towards halfway, and Perez with a chance to break. He's got Rodriguez going through the middle. There's a 2-on-2 here, and there's room out wide on the left-hand side as well. But he goes to Rodriguez. It takes a little deflection, and he then has the attention of Vertonghen. And the youngster will just force his way back. As I mentioned, he's set to play his football in Belgium when he eventually makes a first-team appearance for Ghent. The ball given short here to Cooper. Cooper running towards the edge of the penalty area, unchallenged. Slips the ball into Rodriguez, who tries to pull it back from the byline. And Alderweireld puts it behind and out of play for a corner. And once more, the rows start in the Belgian back line.
Yeah, are they another one of those talented teams that when it's going well, everything's great? If it's not, they start falling out with each other. It's everybody else's fault. It's the tactics' fault, it's the forwards' fault, it's the midfield, it's the defenders. But that was a great bit of play by Panama from the break. And Perez, sorry, the corner's coming up now. Let's have a look at what happens.
It is, with 11 minutes to go in this first half. It's going to be delivered by Barquinas on this near side. It's headed away towards the edge of the penalty area. Pushed out wide again, but straight to the feet of Kevin De Bruyne. Now they can show their pace, maybe on the counter. Hazard does well to hold the ball up. Here's De Bruyne on halfway, lifting it forward towards Lukaku, but that's just straight down the throat of Pinedo away to our right-hand side in the Panamanian goal.
Said it was a great break by Panama, and Rodriguez was wanting Perez to slot him in. He didn't, and they ended up, you know, they got him behind. They got a good block, get a corner kick. It's the delivery. The delivery from the corner kicks, it hits the front man, or is there nobody getting across the front man to try and get a flick? But it's such a shame, because that's they've got a good chance of scoring from free kicks and corners.
Well, just lacking the opportunity to really drive away there with pace, Panama. It's one thing we saw from Peru in their game against Denmark at the weekend. Plenty of pace in that front line and able to counter-attack very well. And then I think if Panama walked out of this with a 0-0, they'd be more than happy. In fact, they'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
Vertonghen down that line, down the left-hand side. Oh, it's decent. It's gone over the top of Murillo. Carrasco into the penalty area where he finds Hazard, who turns. He's immediately surrounded by 3 white shirts from Panama. He still gets the ball out, though, to Witsel at the edge of the penalty area. Now to De Bruyne, 25 yards from goal. Shifts it to the right-hand side. It's lifted in by Meunier. Lukaku's there as well, but he was fouled by Torres. Or he fouled Torres, should I say, at the edge of the 6-yard box. And the ball goes to Panama, and they'll have the free kick with 9 minutes remaining in the first half. It's 0-0 here on TalkSport 2.
There's a face of frustration there if ever I saw it. Does he give him a little pull? Oh, no. No, not at all. Not for me. I don't think he's fouled decision. I think that we've been saying about Lukaku not having a kick, but I think it's Gomez, the 6th, that's just sitting in there. The other 2 midfield players, Cooper and Godoy, just they're up against Witsel and De Bruyne, and he's just sat there, just sat in that space and protecting it, blocking it off. Can't get at the centre backs.
I think at no point have those Panamanian fans stopped dancing, waving their scarves. Thankfully, they appear to not have purchased too many vuvuzelas, which were in evidence over the weekend, of course. You were at the South Africa World Cup. I suppose they drove you a little bit mad?
Fortunately, I had earphones on while I was there. But my wife came to it as well and came to a lot of the games. It drove her mad.
Oh, here's Hazard inside the penalty area, and he forces a save from Pinedo, and there's the danger that Hazard has to offer. He picked it up about 25 yards from goal, got to the edge of the box, fired the shot in, but Pinedo's equal to it.
Yeah, it wasn't the best strike when he's got there. He should save it. He does.
Here's the corner swung over towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's away by Torres, and now a chance maybe for a counter again for Panama on the far side, but Edgar Barcinas just holds the run and then brings Murillo in on that far touchline.
I think Belgium should have that blocked off. The edge of the box should be blocked off. If he's dropping to anybody, somebody should be snapping into him and winning it back and not allowing Panama to break on them.
Now they're away down the left-hand side. Eric Davis has done well to get forward here for the first time really in the game. Rodriguez is left-footed ball into the penalty area. Well, it was into no man's land and going nowhere, and Carrasco has nodded it behind and out of play to give Panama a corner.
He obviously didn't know where his man was, Carrasco. He's just gone for the safety first. He didn't want to bring it down in the box in case he's on top of him. I think he should be more aware, to be honest. He should know where he is.
I may be being harsh, Mick, but I was expecting much more from Belgium than what we've seen in the opening 38 minutes.
Weren't we all? Everybody's talking about it. I'm saying it's the collective. It's the team's got to be better than the individuals, not just the individuals staying on their own. And at the minute, it's Panama that their team is doing better than the individual players.
Barcenas to deliver towards the back post. It's nodded back across by Perez. Comes down towards Torres in the box, who tries to get the shot away, but just loops it up into the arms of Thibaut Courtois away to our left-hand side. You're listening to the World Cup live on TalkSport 2. It's Belgium 0, Panama 0. 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. After we're done here, we'll bring you, of course, TalkSport 2 live with Andrew McKenna. And that's followed by Darren Goff's Cricket Week, which is on the air tonight from 8 o'clock. Here's, on this near side, Toby Alderweireld. Not had too much defending to do, and now a chance for Lukaku! Through into the penalty area, but it's good goalkeeping from Pinedo, who come out to block him. It was a decent ball through into the penalty area. Lukaku was onside, but couldn't get the shot away after he was closed down by Pinedo. And now Panama have conceded a rather sloppy free kick on the far side with a shoulder barge on Eden Hazard.
Yeah, Hazard just bought it. It's a great ball here into this, and then they're running behind. Slotted him in. Keeper's done well. He was just a little bit too far in front of him, but Hazard here just stands his ground. And well, Murillo says it's a shoulder charge. It is, right in his back, and it's a free kick.
The former Republic of Ireland manager Mick McCarthy alongside us here on TalkSport 2 for the game from the Fish Stadium in Sochi. Whereas we approach the 40-minute mark, you may be surprised to hear it's still Belgium 0, Panama 0. Here's Kevin De Bruyne lifting that one in. It's a floater to Mertens at the edge of the box on the volley, and he's put it well wide.
Oh, it's a really good free kick. You can see De Bruyne, as he's setting up, he's asking the players to make the runs to get across it, and he's got everybody to attract it to that near post, people making the runs, and he's clipped it to the edge of the box. And he's not done the best with it, Mertens, to be honest with you. With his record, you expect him to hit the target at least.
Oh, he's been on terrific form for Napoli, of course, the last few seasons. Has really been the star in Serie A. And Higuain delivering. But Pinedo has been up to the task so far. 2 or 3 really good saves.
He has. We've just seen him, though, his shot. He needed to go across the keeper. He's hit the near post. The keeper's always going to protect his near post. He really has to go across him.
Here's a free kick for Panama, just outside the centre circle. We're into the final 4 minutes of the first half. It's the World Cup live on TalkSport 2. Escobar is going to take this. Just over halfway. He gets it out wide to Davis down the left-hand side. Nice touch from Rodriguez. He's just bought himself a bit of space here away from Munier. Beat it back again to Davis. Infield they go once more to Godoy. Godoy looking to come forward. Rodriguez tees that one up nicely for Gomez. Gomez helps it on to Perez. And here's a chance maybe for Cooper to hit one from distance, which he does. And it's over the top of Courtois' crossbar.
He never looked like he was going to score there. They were desperate to set up a shot. I don't think he was... No, never looked like he was going to shot. I like Rodriguez. He's doing well out here on the left-hand side. But they just kept the ball there and kept it play. Whether they could have got it wide and put a cross in, he never looked like he was going to score with that. Not from that distance against Courtois.
Second of 6 World Cup games here in Sochi, of which of course you'll hear all of those and the other 58 that take place throughout the tournament live across our TalkSport network. Away to our right hand side, Pinedo has possession again. Last 3 minutes of the half, and mission now for Panama just to get in 0-0.
It is interesting where they've changed the positions actually. Hazard seems to have come and played on the inside where he was playing wide. And they found him a couple of times into his feet in and around Gabriel Gomez, or saying who's been blocking it up. And Lukaku seems to have drifted out wide, and Hazard's is down the middle a bit more.
Well, Lukaku was trying to get on the end of that ball from the Munier throw, but it's comfortably shepherded at the back by Gabriel Gomez, who's playing that holding role quite well, just shielding the back line for Panama. Certainly tried to keep Lukaku quiet. Into the last couple of minutes of this first half. Belgium 0, Panama 0. Forward down the right-hand side comes Alderweireld.
Hazard is now playing down the middle. They're trying to get it into his feet. I think he's causing Gomez more problems than Lukaku did, certainly. Trying to play in and around him.
Everyone inside the Panamanian half. Even the 3 centre halves for Belgium as they push forward again down the right-hand side, just probing and trying to find a way through what's been a well-organised Panamanian midfield. After a few early scares, they certainly settled down. Boyata out wide to the left. He's trying to pick out Carrasco, who had one of the first shots of the game. That was a fairly tame effort. It's back with Torres, who lumps it clear from the edge of his penalty area. Boyata wins a decent header, but only as far as Gabriel Gomez in the middle of the park, and Gomez gets it out wide to Murillo, who launches it forward for Perez to chase, but it's just over his right shoulder and just skids off the surface into the arms of Thibaut Courtois away to our left-hand side. De Bruyne now to bring it forward for Belgium, up towards Hazard, who is playing up alongside Lukaku. Torres gets it away, Murillo picks it up. Mick almost, I think, lost control there at the way Torres was trying to do that defending, but Hazard's picked it up again here. Hazard slips it out wide to the left from Mertens, who was on the run, but again Torres is there to block it.
Yeah, I could see that collision coming with the 2 defenders. I thought it was going to happen. They always wanted to cut it back. Fizz it across the goal, the defender might put it in. Somebody slide at the far post.
There's a foul here on Murillo, 10 yards inside the Panamanian half. It was from Eden Hazard. He's just knocked him off the ball. No real attempt, and Murillo insisting it should be a yellow card, but...
Yeah, the dirty Eden Hazard, yeah. Wow.
I don't think he's been called that before. But
no, and it was very tongue-in-cheek, Adam, by the way. It was,
on the right-hand side, a ball is picked up by Torres midway inside his own half. We're into the last minute then of the first half, and see how much added time we're going to have. And it's picked up on that right-hand side and forward by Cooper, and it just got caught in the feet of Vertonghen on that far side. And actually he's given the free kick here again for Panama. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, and Panama looking to try and probe.
I'd be interested to see if they changed slightly. Belgium had played with two up front and Hazard in behind two strikers. You know, two up front played a bit wider. And so
here's Eric Davis down the left-hand side for Panama towards the edge of the penalty area. Back into Cooper. But Cooper then just tried to feed it through towards Rodriguez, and Axel Witsel was there to try and pick up possession, which he did. And it's back with Courtois, who will clear from the edge of his 6-yard box. We're a minute into the two that have been added by our Zambian referee, and Perez on the far side just tried to spin. In fact, it wasn't Perez that time, it was Barcenas who just tried to spin Vertonghen, and the yellow card's out again here, and that will go to Edgar Barcenas as he tried to win the ball back for Panama. Another one in the book, third yellow card of this first half.
wasn't that him just asking about Hazard to see whether he could book him? Well, he's got his just desserts. He's got booked himself.
Belgium have possession, looking to try and break the deadlock before half-time.
Hello darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping, limiting things while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. Restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence.
from the east side of America, where we choose pride over character, and we can pick sides, but this is us, this is us, this is. I live on the west side of America, where they spin lies into fairy dust, and we can pick sides, but this is us, this is us, this is. I don't believe in narcissism, when everyone projects and expects you to listen to them. Make no mistake, I live in a prison that I built myself, it is my religion, and they say that I am the sick boy. Easy to say when you don't take the risk, boy. Welcome to the narcissism, we're united under our indifference. By hysteria, and we can pick sides, but this is us, this is us, this is. I live on the west side of America, and when they spin lies into fairy dust, then we can pick sides, but this is us, this is us, this is. Don't believe in narcissism, when everyone projects and expects you to listen to them. Make no mistake, I live in a prison that I built myself, it is my religion, and they say that I am the sick boy. Easy to say when you don't take the risk, boy. Welcome to the narcissism, we're united under our indifference.
celebrating at half-time because they've seen out the first 45 minutes against Belgium.
Yeah, a lot of those Belgian players familiar to fans of the Premier League and English football. So many of them playing in this country on a regular basis. It seems like they've morphed into the England team. Big names, big reputations, but so far not been able to break down lowly Panama, who have been compared to only Saudi Arabia when it comes to the worst teams currently playing in this World Cup. Will they be able to break them down in the second half? Let's cross back to our commentary team, shall we? It is the former Republic of Ireland boss Mick McCarthy. Before him, it's our pal, lead commentator and top man, Adam Bridge.
Thanks very much, Tom. The players back out then for the start of the second half as the sun continues to shine down in Sochi at this fish stadium. 4 games in the Confederation Cup as, of course, part of the trial as the host nation of the World Cups tend to hold, and it really is a wonderful arena for football. Not so good for Belgium in the first half then. They've been held at bay here by Panama, and at times we've just seen Thierry Henry having a word with Romelu Lukaku in the tunnel, actually. I think probably just trying to inspire him to something a little bit more special at the start of this second half, where Belgium have got us underway and the Panama players don't even look like they're set up and ready to go. But we are off and running. Belgium all in red, starting the second period from right to left. 0-0 at half-time then. Panama ranked 55 in the world at the last check versus the ranking of 3rd for Belgium. So 52 places apart on the football ladder, but you wouldn't have known it really for large parts of that first half. But I think that's probably more to do with the fact that Belgium really struggling to break down an obdurate Panamanian defence. They are in possession in the first 30 seconds of this second half down the right-hand side with Alderweireld, and there's a foul there on Mertens, who really felt that, I think, around the back of his ankles from Eric Davis, who's already been booked. He claimed he got the ball, but he certainly had a bit of the ankle of Mertens too. Yeah, he nicked his ankle first. I just wonder, when you were saying that it didn't look like they're ready to kick off, I hope they haven't sat down in the dressing room, Panama, and thought, oh, that's great and we've achieved everything. I hope not, and they've come out, they're going to sit in and make it really difficult again for Belgium. It's Kevin De Bruyne to deliver out wide from the right-hand side. It's a poor delivery though, comfortably headed away from around the penalty spot that time by Fidel Escobar, and it's into touch on the far side. I'll run you through the teams in a minute. Free kicks and corners have been poor from both sides. It's interesting if they can start this game and keep it for 5-10 minutes, Panama, you'd be amazed. I know they get tired, but what they can achieve. De Bruyne out wide on that left-hand side, right-footed ball lifted over towards Lukaku, and Torres is there with a decent header away. Got himself a ball, what a goal! What a strike that is from Mertens! Headed away by Torres, and on the volley from the angle, about 14 yards out, it's looped into the bottom corner, and Belgium have made the breakthrough. Maybe that golden generation will start to deliver. 2 minutes into the second half, Mertens with an absolute perler. It's Belgium 1, Panama 0. Well, so much of my theory of being stubborn and lasting 10 minutes. It lasted 2 minutes. What a wonderful strike. That's great skills. Challenging for the ball in the box. It's nothing special. It's just a clearance from ahead. It's not a great header. But Mertens has watched that. As used to teach us when we were kids in the youth, it's like with a paintbrush, straight up the wall. He's kept his eye on it. What about that? Dipped it right in the top corner. Magnificent. It's wonderful technique, isn't it, Rick? Beautiful. Arm up in the air from Roberto Martinez. A 15th international goal. Roberto looks like it says, I expected that. It's not exactly, he wasn't exactly cheering and jumping up and down, was he? Just stuck his hand up. It's a wonderful hit on the volley as that comes down to Perez here as Panama try to respond at the edge of the penalty area. Boyata gets up to win that header, and now Hazard has it, and maybe things will open up a little now for Belgium. Hazard on a run through the centre circle. The challenge from Cooper. The free kick for Belgium. No card though for Cooper. Yes, there is a card for Armando Cooper as well from the referee, and that's a free kick midway inside the Panama half for Belgium. Well, we'll see now when we talked earlier about what experience does it matter. They've left the experienced players out. They put a lot of younger ones in Panama, and let's see if they can settle back down, because even if they kept it to 1-0, it would be seen as some sort of an achievement against Belgium. Well, suddenly the Red Devil fans have found their voice inside the Fish Stadium in Sochi, and they've actually quietened down the Panamanians, which are wasn't sure was actually possible. De Bruyne, still again not the best of deliveries, headed away by Torres. I actually thought Torres had done quite well to block that previous ball in, but they couldn't get it fully clear, Panama, and Mertens with that wonderful strike that you'll see time and time again. Nice touch of skill on that far side from Cooper, who's now charging forward here for Panama. Midway inside the Belgium half, but again he's a little too casual, and it's up to halfway to Lukaku, who's already seen more of the ball at the start of the second half than I think he did in the entire first, but the pass by Hazard out wide to the right, looking to try and find Meunier, wasn't the best, and Panama will win possession back. 4.5 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to the World Cup live on TalkSport 2. Belgium leading Panama in Group G by 1-0. The first game in England's group, and now they're coming forward through Murillo, who does well, tries to get on the end of a 1-2 with Perez, but it wasn't the best from the veteran striker, and Belgium win possession once more. Lukaku is bundled to the ground by Fidel Escobar, and it's a free kick for Belgium just inside the Panamanian half.
Yeah, when he finally gets the ball to his feet, he gets poleaxed by the defender. He's tried his best to stay on his feet as well and get past him. No chance.
Free kick taken fairly quickly for Roberto Martinez's side. It's Mertens, the goal scorer, and only scored 1 in 11 at the end of the season for Napoli, and many feel that contributed to the way they ended the season so poorly, allowing Juve to walk away with the title. Murillo there has just kicked Carrasco up in the air. It was a fairly crude challenge and not much of an attempt, I think, to get the ball. And it's another yellow card, and this time round it's waved, I think, in the vague direction maybe of Murillo for the challenge, or was it Perez for a bit of dissent? It was Murillo, is confirmed.
They're totting the yellow cards up, aren't they? I don't know if there's any punishment for 5 yellow cards in this tournament by any team.
Well, they've got 4 already.
Yeah, well, there's every chance they'll get more than that.
I think it's probably every chance they may end up with 10 players at the end of this game as well, depending on how this develops. Here's the free kick, though, and it's in a dangerous position for Kevin De Bruyne. It's probably about 7 or 8 yards outside the penalty area, 3 or 4 yards to the left edge of the D, and you would fancy him to certainly make Pinedo work here.
It'll be a shame, Adam, if they let the discipline go. If they let it go and it ends up being a bit of a shambles at the end of it. Can they get back, concentrate, stick with it, and try and get, like as I said before, it would be seen as a good result if it ends up as 1-0 or 2-0. They've not been blown away by one of the favourites.
De Bruyne then, 3 in the wall for Panama. About 25 yards out from goal. Mertens has just gone to the left at the angle of the penalty area and he's stood alone. But De Bruyne goes for goal, and he's just wide of the right-hand side of Pinedo's goal. Inches away from the right-hand upright. Keeper was across, but De Bruyne just off target.
Yeah, I don't know whether he was trying to move the end man on the wall, Bacenas, and whether he was aiming at that, I don't know. But he's not really hit a good free kick in yet. Not a delivery to try and get a header, or even that one on target. It's been disappointing.
Unbeaten in their last 5 opening games at the World Cup. Belgium, in fact, they've lost only 1 of their last 9. And of all their group games, this could be a 5th consecutive victory if they stay this way. Boyata has gone right through the back of Perez as he's won a crunching header there, just 10 yards short of halfway. The loose ball has gone forward to Hazard, who's under pressure all the time from Armando Cooper. But they've done well to keep the ball here, and then De Bruyne out wide to the right-hand side. But Mertens was on his heels, and Davis can get across and clear for Panama. And now they'll try and break up towards halfway, but they've got a free kick anyway, just 10 yards inside their own half. I think Perez is now up and about, thankfully.
Yeah, he did get clattered there by Boyata. He's done well, Boyata. Whenever they've put the ball up to Perez, he's competed really well and won most of the headers.
Well, Hernan Dario Gomez is certainly having an altercation with the 4th official down below, not happy about that challenge on Perez from Boyata. They've given possession away here on the near side, but they've won it back with a throw as Carrasco just runs the ball out of play.
Does the 4th official realise he is nicknamed the Truncheon, as he say, wasn't it?
I don't think he does, probably. His no-nonsense approach.
It was a great challenge as well. I don't know what he's complaining about.
I thought you might have liked it.
I appreciated it, yeah.
On that far side, the ball out wide for Panama, the left, back to halfway. Picked up again inside the centre circle by Gomez. Gomez gets it through once more into the feet this time of Godoy. Davis down the left-hand side. Just keeping the ball for the moment, Panama. They trail here by a 1-0 on TalkSport 2. Right-footed ball chipped over the top in some spaces. Murillo inside the penalty area. Oh, good save from Courtois. Edge of the 6-yard box. No one tracked Murillo's run. What an opportunity. He took it down, but his shot is saved by Courtois.
They just seem to have took the foot off the gas, Belgium. They weren't pressing the ball, and they let him pick his head up, and he's picked his pass to Murillo, and he's made a great save, Courtois. He's kept it at 1-0.
The corner's been taken, but it'll have to be taken again, I think, because the referee's not happy with some of the movement, barging, grabbing that's going on inside the penalty area. Quite lucky, because the original effort from Edgar Bárcenas was quite poor. So he'll get a second opportunity here. 9.5 minutes gone in the second half. Panama looking for an equaliser. Decent cross. Torres goes up for the header. Gets plenty on it, but not enough to direct it goalwards, and it's out for a goal kick.
He's got a good leap on him, hasn't he? I don't know, is he one of the biggest? Is he 6'3", 6'5"? I don't think he is, but he attacks the ball brilliantly. This was a great pass.
It's a beaut from Bárcenas to set Murillo in. He's only got one international goal to his name, and just couldn't quite get it under control quickly. It just scooted away from him, wasn't it?
First touch, you know, it wasn't dead, and he had another touch and just hit it, just to give the defender a chance to get close to him and Courtois to get out.
Listen to the lift, though, it's given the Panamanian supporters when all of a sudden they go, oh, hang on a minute, maybe we can do something.
I just looked at Belgium there for that moment when he was allowed to pick his head up and he made his run and he got him in. They just looked like they just sat back and stopped pressing. They should really go for the jugular, go and beat them, go and beat them 2 or 3.
Well, Vertonghen was going mad at Carrasco, who clearly felt should have been tracking back, but in Carrasco and also Meunier, they're forward-thinking wing-backs. They're not defensive wing-backs. They're not your traditional, if you're talking England, the Danny Roses or the Kyle Walkers.
He was looking the wrong way, Adam. He was looking at his own goal. He was on his way back. He hadn't got back and turned around and seen him coming, in which case he could have defended better.
Carrasco was often seen playing in that wide midfield role for Atletico Madrid, but this is how I think Roberto Martinez gets to shoehorn all the talent that he's got into this Belgian side by playing in this manner and playing them in those roles. 11 minutes gone in the second half. It's the World Cup live on TalkSport 2. It's Belgium 1, Panama 0. When we're done, we've got TalkSport 2 live for you with Andrew McKenna and Darren Goff's Cricket Week coming up from 8 o'clock tonight here on TalkSport 2. There's a free kick for Belgium. Again, the challenge that time by Aníbal Godoy. And the yellow card's out.
There's number 5.
It is for this Panamanian side. They're certainly getting on the wrong side of Yanni Sakanzi, the Zambian referee.
He just wouldn't shut up. He was asking for it. The referee kept looking at him. I thought, he's got to stop talking in a minute. Deserved booking.
Kevin De Bruyne will lift this one into the penalty area. Well, he's lifted it in, but he's lifted it 5 or 6 yards over the top of everyone, and this is not the Kevin De Bruyne that we've been seeing for Manchester City for the last 2 seasons.
Not at all. Not his free kicks and his corners, dead ball restarts. They've been poor so far. They've never looked like scoring from one of them.
12 minutes gone in the second half. Belgium leading by a 1-0. Clearance from their goalkeeper Pinedo.
First game of the tournament, though, it is. They've had the pre-season, they've played the friendlies, you know, they've had the break, they've probably had a holiday.
Cooper towards the edge of the penalty area, and the shot has got away, but it's wide on this occasion from Bárcenas.
Sorry, the point I'm trying to make is that Kevin De Bruyne might be. It's the first game in the World Cup. You know, there's the pressure on. They want to win. They want to perform well. He'll get better. And then do we see the best of him in the big games towards the end of the tournament?
Well, they often say very rarely do you see the eventual winners start brilliantly. It's a tournament you can feel your way into, isn't it, with your 3 group games. You just don't want to lose your first game.
As long as you don't get beat. If you get beat in the first game, the pressure is on.
That's the key, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what Germany will face after that defeat by Mexico, because Sweden aren't going to be a rollover, are they?
Not at all. No, it's put real pressure on them.
And at the moment, Belgium aren't losing that first game. They lead by a 0-0, but Panama are on the attack here again down the right-hand side. Bárcenas with a chance to deliver, which he does towards the back post, but he's overhit it, and it's out of play. And I think Cooper's the player that's gone down in some discomfort here for Panama. He got caught in the build-up, and the challenge was from Vertonghen, And that probably should have been a free kick, but he played the advantage.
Yeah, I know they'll be looking for the free kick now, and the probably coaches in the fourth officials here are all giving him another one.
Vertonghen's got a yellow card.
But when they get into that position, that's when they've got to produce the crosses. You know, if he lets play go on and the score from it, that's a great bit of refereeing.
From a purely selfish English perspective, Vertonghen getting a yellow card today and then one in the next game when they take on Tunisia would be good news for England, that's for sure. England, of course, get underway a little bit later in Group G, but Belgium at the moment doing what they need to do here. They're not as straightforward as probably they or anyone thought it might be. 14 minutes into the second half. They lead Panama by a goal to nil. Real worldie of a goal as well from Dries Mertens, just adding to the list of spectacular goals that we've seen so far in this World Cup. There's been no shortage of them. Here is Hazard picking it up for Belgium, midway inside the Panamanian half, into Carrasco, who spins away from Torres. He hits the deck, and no foul, says the referee, and Torres then just tries to float a ball over the top of Blas Perez across his shoulder, but there was just too much on it, and it's safely to Courtois, who sweeps at the edge of the Belgian penalty area.
You can see Torres, you say he scored the goal, was it the ghost goal that got them through to the World Cup. He's a bit of a talisman for him, and just the way he looks, he's a big powerhouse at the back. He's had a good game.
Quarter-final of the last two major tournaments for Belgium. Can they go one better? Here is Lukaku. He's on a run here, showing his pace and power into the box. Lovely bit of play, teaming up with Meunier that time, and the pass to Meunier was just beyond Lukaku as he tried to get a shot away from 6 yards out, but it certainly overrun the ball. They've kept possession though on halfway with Beata, but it's the first time we've actually seen Lukaku with the ball at feet.
Well, he's dropped a little bit deeper, but he was able to turn around and run with it. He wanted a better pass back from, as he said, from Meunier. He rolled it into his feet. He wanted a better return.
Meunier's got it again here for Belgium out wide on that right-hand side. Pushed forward in once more to Vertonghen, out wide to the left. Here's Hazard, edge of the penalty area. Ball at feet for the Chelsea man. Witsel at the edge of the box, looks to shoot, does he? No, he tries to drive on to Hazard again. Lukaku's arm is up, he wants the cross played early. Hazard's going alone inside the penalty area. He's forced out wide though, on this near side by Cooper. Gets it back to Vertonghen. And again, everyone hemmed inside the Panamanian half as we go beyond the hour mark. 61 minutes played. Belgium leading by a goal to nil. And it's back with Alderweireld on that far side. Out wide to the right-hand touchline where it's picked up by Mertens. Laid off to Meunier. And they're happy to keep the ball, Roberto Martinez's side. Fairly standard for all of his teams, as down the right now comes Alderweireld, gets the crossover towards Lukaku, breaks to Mertens inside the penalty area. Oh, and it's deflected up and over the top of the bar by the outstretched left boot that time of Escobar. And it's going to be a corner, and they're preparing a double change here, Panama. We're going to see the introduction in moments of Gabriel Torres and Ismael Diaz. But first of all, they've got some defending to do.
They have. They need some fresh legs on the pitch. They're starting to get tired.
Mertens this time is on corner duty. Over towards Vertonghen, who gets the header, but he just proved a little shove in the back, and the referee's whistle goes before the keeper had actually made the save. And now they will get the chance to make these two changes. And it is going to be the introduction of Gabriel Torres and also Ismael Diaz. It was Gabriel Torres who played his part in the ghost goal as well. Actually scored a wonderful goal in qualifying. Basinas has gone off for the introduction of Torres, and Diaz will enter the fray as well, as we mentioned, and he's going to come on and replace Rodriguez on the left-hand side, the youngster. So a double change and a positive change as well for the Panamanians.
I think Rodriguez has done well. I don't know if he thinks he's getting tired, he's running out of legs, but I thought he's been really positive in the game.
Well, you can't help but feel the lack of football that he's had in Belgium, playing for Genk, as we mentioned, not made a first-team appearance for them. Almost being fast-tracked into this Panamanian international setup. Only his third cap today, but he looked dangerous at times in that first half. And Ismael Diaz, as I say, enters the fray. He plays his football for Deportivo La Coruña's second team in Spain, or he has for the last season or so. Meunier on a run here for Belgium, down that right-hand side towards the byline. He finds Mertens, who's closed down immediately, and gets attention from Fidel Escobar, and it's a throw on that far side for Belgium, level with the edge of the penalty area.
I think they're getting pushed further and further back, Adam, and if they're going to break on them at all, they're going to need some fresh legs. They need to get the ball back, but to even get up the pitch, they're going to need some fresh legs on the park. I think that's why he's made his substitutions.
De Bruyne down that far side, intercepted comfortably by one of the substitutes, Ismail Diaz. It's picked up by Lukaku. Nice little layoff to Eden Hazard. Just a little tug on his arm there, centrally about 25 yards out, that came from Aníbal Godoy, and the free kick is given. It was the tiniest little pull on the left arm of Hazard, but just knocked him off his balance as he was about to get going once more.
He loves to just play in there, doesn't he? He's got Lukaku up the top. If he can just play in those little holes, those little pockets, and pick it up and get turned, that's when he's a real threat.
Well, this is a central free kick. It's just to the left, actually, of the penalty spot. Again, about 25 yards from goal. I think there's a few who are lining up and fancying this. Mertens maybe, or Kevin De Bruyne, one of those two. Both in situ, and both with an opportunity here to double Belgium's advantage. There's 4 in the wall, which is placed just inside the D. It will be Kevin De Bruyne, and it's straight into that wall. And it spins away on the far side, where Meunier will pick it up under pressure from Davis, and Davis puts the ball out of play for a throw to Belgium. 20 minutes gone in this second half. Belgium leading by a goal to nil. You're listening to the World Cup live on TalkSport 2. Reminder, Royal Ascot gets underway tomorrow as well. We'll bring you exclusive coverage from Royal Ascot this year, and we have it for you all the way through till Saturday, to make sure, if you love your racing, and what a spectacle it is as well. If you remember back to last year, Rupert Bell's commentary on the big orange coming for victory. It really was a wonderful event, and we've got coverage for you from tomorrow here on TalkSport 2. Down this left-hand side, it's Vertonghen again with the ball on halfway. He finds Hazard into Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne then with one of those raking passes out wide to the right-hand side, but again, there's too much on it for Meunier to get after, and it spins into touch for a throw.
Yeah, there's been a few collector's items from Kevin De Bruyne, and he's given the ball away today. I've not seen much of that in the Premier League this season.
No, it's very unlike him, as you say, though, after a little holiday and the end of the season. Maybe you just got to get back into it.
You've got to get going again at this level. Please, you know, friendlies are okay and they keep you going, and I know they'll say, well, you shouldn't lose it. You just need to get back to this level. And actually, it's not the level where he normally plays at. He's playing against a much lower level who are frustrating him, sitting in. He's a wonderful player, and I think we'll see the best of him in other games.
As well, Mick, when you're at a World Cup, everything started last Thursday. They don't get their games underway until late on a Monday.
Yeah.
It must be quite frustrating as a group of players just to be sat there and watching everyone else get underway.
It is. You want to get underway because people say that there's not. You're not scared. You're not feared. You're not worried about it. But you're anxious. You want to get playing. You've got that nervous energy, and you can't wait for it to start.
Meunier on that far side into Hazard, who just spins and turns, and opportunity to go back to Witsel again. Inside the centre circle is Boyata. He's had a couple of terrific seasons, of course, the former Man City man up at Celtic, twice winning the treble back-to-back. It's another foul there, this time on the near side on Carrasco. It's from Murillo, who is one of those players who's been booked, and he'll be walking a tightrope. 5 Panamanians in the book, a couple of Belgians as well. Plenty of report writing to be done post-game for our Zambian official today. And actually, there's not really been a filthy, nasty tackle in the entire game.
No, there haven't. There's been the ones where they've just pulled them back.
Ball lifted in here towards Lukaku, and Pinedo has to come out to the edge of his 6-yard box and punch. It was a decent delivery this time from Meunier from that right-hand side, but Pinedo again was alert to the danger. Here they come again. Hazard into De Bruyne, lays it off again to Hazard down the left-hand edge of the penalty area. He's closed down immediately by Torres. Hazard going here on his right foot. De Bruyne at the edge of the box, works it onto his right foot again, stabs it towards Lukaku for the header, and he knocks it into the bottom corner, and Romelu Lukaku's World Cup campaign is off and running. The delivery from De Bruyne, the header from Lukaku from around 8 yards out, and that should be game, set and match for Belgium. They lead Panama by 2 goals to nil.
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of football, close skills. Hazard kept hold of it. They didn't just put the ball in the box, they didn't just cross it. They worked it down to the byline, came back, came out to De Bruyne. He's played A 1-2 with Hazard. They come back here. They've kept hold of it. He's not just going to cross it. They've only got one in the box anyway. This is a great bit of skill. Beats him on the outside of his foot. Oh, they'll be telling me his arm's offside. But anyway, it's not gone to VAR, has it? I don't think so. It's been given. It's a wonderful ball on the outside of his foot. Great goal.
He has been given. The celebrations have happened. They do check every goal, and I think by the letter of the law his right arm was offside, but
I know.
Apparently it's only bits that you can put the ball in with, and obviously he can't put it in with his right arm.
Well, the rules are correct there.
He looks quite tight for level, but it was a good call, I think, by the assistant and probably by the VAR.
Not great defending, I might add. He's let him get across him. He should have his arm across him and stop him getting there. He's bigger than as strong Lukaku is. He should be defending better than that.
He's been in terrific form when it's come to his performances for Belgium in the build-up. 13 goals in the 8 warm-up games, and he's on target again now, having also had a terrific qualifying campaign too. Only scored a couple during Euro 2016, so off and running in his World Cup campaign for 2018 for Romelu Lukaku. There's some conjecture as to how many he has got for Belgium, because in one friendly they used too many substitutes, so I think his hat-trick was wiped out that day, but it's certainly, for me, goal number 37 in a Belgian shirt. 20 minutes remaining here in Sochi, and Belgium off to the perfect start to this World Cup campaign in Group G, of course, alongside England, who will get underway in just over an hour and a half's time when they take on Tunisia. Down the left-hand side is Vertonghen. Forward he goes into space. The chase on for Carrasco down this left-hand side. Murillo's there as well. And Murillo just falls on the ball under pressure from Carrasco, and it's going to be a free kick for Panama.
I don't think we'll be seeing either team in any hurry. I said to you earlier, Panama, I think will be, just don't get beaten by 4 or 5. Belgium have done the job. They win this as it is. There'll be a lot of possession.
Well, their biggest win in the World Cup actually came against El Salvador. That was by 3-0 in one of their meetings with the 6 other CONCACAF sides they've played against. So you're feeling there may well be some more goals in it for them. It really just depends how Panama approach the final 20 minutes or so. And at the moment they're looking to try and get themselves back in the game. Godoy pushing it out wide to the left-hand side, where it's picked up by Davis. Davis just lays the ball off short and finds the run that's being made by Cooper. Cooper into Perez. This is better from Panama. Edge of the box. It's lifted forward by Gabriel Torres, and it was looped in the air and easily picked out by Thibaut Courtois under his crossbar.
We talked at half-time, didn't we, about being the final ball. You know, that's the difference there. They get a chance to get somebody on the outside, put a cross in, and it's just a tame little chip into Courtois' hands.
No surprise that Luis Tejeda is about to come on. The 36-year-old plays his club football in Peru, but 105 caps to his name so far, 40-odd goals as well. But it's Belgium here who are looking for goals. They're on the search for number 3. Hazard picks it up out wide to the left-hand side after a fairly poor ball from Carrasco. He's got 2 who come to greet him immediately. Goes back to Axel Witsel in the middle of the park, and Vertonghen's there as well. But again, Hazard's taken up a decent position on the left-hand side, and he has the ball at feet, walking towards the edge of the penalty area, and then just turns away from the close attention and actually gives the ball away this time to Godoy, who's fouled by Witsel, and this will be the final change of the game then for Panama. And I suspect it'll be Perez that goes off, and Tejeda, as I mentioned, that's likely to come on. Really was a toss-up between those two, with a combined age, as we mentioned earlier, of 73, as to which one of them got the starting position, both with more than 40 goals, and it is Perez that departs and Tejeda is off.
Yeah, I think Perez has run his race, to be honest with you. He's starting to struggle up there.
An early header is won by Tejeda. He gets up over Axel Witsel and wins that in the middle of the park. It's back with Courtois. His ball closed down that time, and Courtois just took his time before delivering, and it cannons away off of Armando Cooper and out of play for what will be a goal kick, but Courtois almost got caught.
It's amazing. Even something as small as that can give the team a lift. They all go, we might get something from this. You know, the goalkeeper, Courtois' ability, his experience, how good he is, and he gets caught. You just give a little bit of hope to the opposition.
But Moussa Dembele is coming on. Maurizio Pochettino says that he's one of the 5 best players in the world as far as Pochettino's concerned.
Well, I'm in agreement. I think he's a wonderful player. From when he was at Fulham and he was playing against us. Just an outstanding player. Just got everything going for him. So powerful, quick.
He only appeared in 3 World Cup qualifiers though, and one of those was a start. He just doesn't seem to fit in with whatever it is Roberto Martinez wants.
Well, you know, I mean, Maurizio Pochettino will be talking about his own players and bigging them up, of course, and he'll want to do that. But I think he's a wonderful, wonderful, talented player. But, you know, managers think differently. Different coaches think differently. And you can't pick anybody else's team. That's the beauty of the game.
Imagine if you all thought the same. What a dull world it would be.
What a dull world, yeah.
Here's Hazard on a rampaging run here from halfway. Sips that one through to Romelu Lukaku. Keeper's advancing. Lukaku over the top of him into the bottom corner. And Romelu Lukaku is doing what he does best. Scoring goals for Belgium. It's 2 in the game for Romelu Lukaku. Belgium have 3 and are cruising to a comfortable victory to kick off Group G. It's Belgium 3, Panama 0.
Well, when we were chatting at half-time and we were all saying that, you know, it depends what happens, and then he said that they'll get tired and mistakes, and now they're up the pitch, they're attacking, they've been done on the break, and it's the 3 lads that were up there. Lukaku gets stuck in there by Hazard, and he's brilliant, you know. He waits until he's gone down, he lets the keeper make his move, he goes down, he's waiting, he doesn't have anything underneath him, and he dinks it over the top. Great finish.
22 goals in 24 internationals for Romelu Lukaku. Just a really terrific finish as well. Kept calm. He's already matched that tally from Euro 2016 in game 1. And Roberto Martinez is looking like a very happy man. And they've just done the job they had to do, mate. It's not been convincing in that first half, but now they're starting to just expand a little bit more.
Yeah, but I said I've been there as a player and as a manager, coach. It's tough against anyone. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. They make it hard to prepare. They've got all that time to prepare for your team against who are they playing, and they'll have 3 or 4 weeks preparation to do it and make it difficult for you. As I've done it for other teams myself, and then it doesn't happen. But I think they've just trusted their ability. They got the first goal, which was wonderful, and then now they're just picking them off. And this is very, very difficult for Panama when they start breaking on them from these positions.
Well, Panama, as they go in search of a goal in this game, are just starting to leave holes. Down the right-hand side, they have possession with Torres. Torres goes infield. That's Gabriel Torres, by the way, as opposed to Roman Torres, who is still playing his role as a man mountain at the back. There's a ball lifted over the top here to Hazard, who's chasing onto it from De Bruyne inside the penalty area. Hazard in the box, looks for some support, which arrives in the form of Lukaku, but didn't arrive quickly enough, and he was crowded out by 2 white shirts who can bring that ball clear on the far side. And Panama just lose out. A little slip there from Cooper, and it's picked up by Mertens, the scorer, the first. And back inside their own half, Belgium have possession.
It really starts to get tough when you're the Panama team and you seem to be facing your own goal. You're running back towards it because you've lost it up the pitch, and they're breaking on you and all running back, having to get back and defend. And there can't be any better 3 up front than the 3 that Belgium have got to pick you off when they start getting tired. And they've sent one of the best 5 players in the world on as well.
Here's Hazard heading towards the byline. Really good tackle from Murillo. Hazard took him on, and Murillo did enough to win the ball back for Panama. However, he's run into 2 red shirts straight away, and Dembele just gets clipped off him and into touch on this near side for a throw into Panama, midway inside their own half. We have, just over 12 minutes remaining here. You're listening to the World Cup live on TalkSport 2. Don't forget, in the morning we'll have your essential roundup of Tuesday's sports stories. World Cup Sports Day is on the air from 7 o'clock with Dan Windle tomorrow morning. He'll look back on England's World Cup opener against Tunisia. That's live on TalkSport tonight from 6, as well as preview that 3rd one-day international between England and Australia. Here come Panama. Decent cross into the box to try and find Tejeda, but his outstretched boot can't quite get on the end of it round the back post. And that's the first time, actually, they've got into a wide area and delivered something decent into the box.
It is very, very getting late on in the game, and it is a great ball. He can't get there. He's made the best effort he possibly could, but whether he could have gone with his head or not, I've no idea. But yeah, you're right. First decent ball they've got in from wide areas.
susceptible down the flanks, you would have thought, with the two wing-backs they play, but here is Alderweireld at the edge of the penalty area for Belgium. Now they try and break on mass, a stream of red shirts driving forward. Lukaku out wide on that right-hand side, on the ball, with the ball at feet, charging inside the penalty area, almost got a lucky ricochet, but then at the second attempt it just span away from him. And now Panama can counter, and we're into end-to-end territory here, and eventually he goes. Pulled it back, feeling he got a nick, but I think he maybe fell over his own feet as he tried to drive forward that time.
I think
Ismail Diaz. Here's the other number 10 at the other end. It really is end-to-end. Here's Hazard just trying to turn away from Murillo, who's looked after him really well at times during this game, and he wins the ball back on this occasion. They play with it at the edge of that penalty area, and then eventually chip it into touch, and Belgium have the throw. Last 10 minutes of the game.
Once it becomes end-to-end, there's only ever going to be one winner. With the front three that Belgium have, there's no doubt they'll get more goals.
3-0, Belgium lead. It's the World Cup live on TalkSport 2. All 64 games across the TalkSport network. Next up, England against Tunisia. That game kicks off in just over an hour and 20 minutes time.
I actually think the Panama back four could be proud of themselves, though. They've stuck with it. They're not giving them that many chances in it, and they're still at it now, defending 1v1s and having it with the Belgian team.
Meunier into Mertens, Lukaku, edge of the penalty area, helps it on. Mertens is onside, cross to Meunier with a little back heel, and it's saved by Pinedo. No flag had gone up, and eventually it does. They do delay on the offside until, of course, it's been checked or it's really obvious. Looked quite obvious to us, didn't it?
It looked obvious to me.
Yeah, I think Mertens probably with his left foot offside. And eventually the flag went up from the assistant.
That's incredible. I said I've been at this wedding all week. I'm not seeing that much football, so seeing many decisions. But it was offside. It was.
Well, Pierluigi Collina has told them just to delay, because ultimately they can always check it on VAR if necessary.
Well, that's a point, yeah, because it could be disallowed and it could be a goal, of course. Yeah, I get it.
Hazard into the feet of Lukaku. It's not really been too much of a bone of contention in the opening weekend of this World Cup. There's another foul there and another free kick at the edge of the penalty area.
I'm a defender, Adam. When he's offside, I stick my hand up. I want him offside.
When you've done that line, yeah, no two ways about it. Here's the free kick. Last, 8.5 minutes of the game. 3-0, Belgium lead. Perfect start for them to Group G at this 2018 World Cup. The noise inside the Fish Stadium in Sochi has just dropped a little. The Panamanians realising this is done and dusted. Now, Mertens is about to re-spot the ball, I think, that Hazard has just put down here. Again, it's to the left of the D. It's about 25 yards out. They're actually going to take Mertens off and bring the other Hazard on. So that'll decide who's taking this free kick if they do it now. I think they're trying to get the attention of the referee. The board is up.
One of them's going to be very disappointed, I can tell you that.
Well, I think the referee has said, no, we're not doing the substitution yet. We will wait. And actually, it is going to be Eden Hazard who will take this free kick. 6 goals in his last 6 qualifying games for Belgium. Right-footed, he tries to bend it. It's gone into the wall again. And well, one of the Panamanians has gone down. No great surprise. Feeling, I think it's Tejeda, the substitute. And he got caught in the face, and here is the change, and we will see the other Hazard brother enter the fray. Thorgan Hazard from Borussia Mönchengladbach. He will replace Dries Mertens, who got Belgium on their way with a really sumptuous strike.
He did, didn't he? The front three have not had it all their own way. It's just started now. He'll be really annoyed. He'll be thinking he could get another goal. He wants to stay on the pitch because the game's opened up. But he's done his shift. He's done his job. He's got the bigger fish to fry now. They've got more games to play, and he scored a great goal. It was a wonderful strike.
7 minutes remaining here on TalkSport 2. You're listening to the World Cup live Roberto Martinez with a big hug for Mertens.
That's what he's saying to him, and I know you want to stay on, and listen, I've got to take somebody. I'm using the squad. You'll be in the team next time. He's just reassuring him.
Got to keep him happy.
Absolutely.
You and I were talking off air earlier. You know, keeping them happy is such a key part of it.
Yeah, and it's not about being mates with them, but it's being reasonable with them, explaining your decisions, and you know what? If you are that and consistent with people, then you get the best out of them.
That's a poor clearance there from Boyata, but he just about gets away with it with a bit of help from Alderweireld. He's not had too much to worry about playing in that role that's usually filled by Vincent Kompany. There's De Bruyne.
To keep the game of keep ball going on now. That's.
Well, I think they've equalled that best ever scoreline in a World Cup, that 3-0 win against El Salvador. I'm sure they'll look to try and better that if they can. One of the favourites, the first side of the top 6 in the FIFA rankings to secure a win here after a weekend, of course, where we saw some of the best teams in the world struggle to make the perfect start at this World Cup. Of course, we're talking Germany, who lost to Mexico, Brazil only drawing against Switzerland, Portugal drawing with Spain, Argentina, of course, drawing against Iceland, and as we mentioned, Switzerland taking on Brazil, because Switzerland are inside the top 6 in the world. You may find that hard to believe, but you can manipulate your fixtures to make sure your ranking doesn't look too bad when it comes to draw times.
I do think the Portugal-Spain result is a little bit skewed when they're saying all the top 6 haven't won their games. You know, they were 2 brilliant teams, weren't they? It was a great game.
They were a terrific game of football, probably one of the best you're likely to see at the World Cup, technically and for sheer drama. Oh, here's a chance for Panama! Oh, he's gone down in the box. I think it's Tejeda who tried to get the shot. It's off of Courtois. And the referee just saying, no, hang on a minute.
VAR coming on, is it?
No, I think he's just given offside.
Oh, is he?
It was the initial ball through where there's no offside. It's that second touch where he was offside and Courtois won the ball anyway. Just for a moment, Panama got that goal that they desired, and it would, of course, be a historic goal, their first in a World Cup final.
Absolutely, you know, they said you start off with it's your first World Cup final, and then what's the next first? If you get a 0-0 or you score, whatever it is, it's some sort of success in that World Cup that you've been to.
Iceland, of course, the other debutants this time round here in Russia, and they had a fairly good start in that 1-1 draw against Argentina. A goal, saving a Messi penalty. You can't really ask for much more. Fidel Escobar is one of the few that's not been booked, and maybe that's why he's just taken the chance to stick one on Axel Witsel there in the middle of the park.
And if he doesn't get booked, that's probably been the worst tackle of all in the game. There's been no nastiness. There's been a few little tugs and little trips and that, but nothing bad.
Well, I think the young 22-year-old who plays for the New York Red Bulls is going to get away with it. Actually, 5 of the 8 defenders in this Panamanian squad all play in the MLS. They're playing to a fairly decent standard.
Yeah, this is a different ball game altogether, though, Adam, than the MLS. This is something different, playing against these Belgian players.
Well, for 45 minutes, they certainly managed to adapt enough to keep them out. But I mean, you mentioned at half-time, they looked tired. They looked as though they'd probably gone 90 minutes, let alone 45, but they're still coming forward now. Marino, lovely ball into the penalty area, but it's too far ahead of Tejeda, who can't quite get there on that far side. Oh, he thought he'd kept the ball in. He looked up, just checked the assistant to see if he'd put the flag up.
He hoped he got away with it. Look at that smile on his face. But they've had 2 great crosses in here. When they had Perez on, the big fella up front, they didn't get a crossing at all. But the game's stretched. It's end-to-end, and that's why you're getting crosses in.
2.5 minutes remaining. 2 goals for Romelu Lukaku, helping Belgium to this 3-0 advantage here, live on TalkSport 2. TalkSport Network, of course, your home of the World Cup. Lots of content as well across our social media. Now, De Bruyne here has clattered into with a fairly high boot there to Tejeda. The yellow card is out, which I think is going to go to Kevin De Bruyne because it was his boot that was high. It's another yellow card, this time for Belgium, and it will be a free kick to Panama, not far outside the penalty area. Well, he's got the boot right into the midriff there of Luis Tejeda.
I don't think Kevin De Bruyne has meant that. I really do. He's just going to kick the ball. The guy's there. I think he's unfortunate there. I really do.
Well, certainly Escobar met that challenge a few moments ago that he didn't get booked for.
Yeah.
But De Bruyne is in the book. Here's the free kick for Panama. It's to the left of goal, a little bit further out as well, probably nearer to 30 yards. But maybe a chance for one of these players just to make their mark in Panamanian football history. It's actually about 25 yards out. It's to the left. And they may well fancy a shot on goal. Gabriel Torres thought about it, and it's driven in the end by Escobar, but straight at the keeper.
It is, but I'm just wondering how it's got to the keeper. Has it gone up the side of the wall? Has it gone through the wall? Has it gone where the two lads have moved them from? Well, they've got the two Panama players on the edge of the wall, and they just tried to drag the wall out of the way, and I think Courtois read it. It was an easy save for him.
Meunier again down the right-hand side, tries to get the cross in. It's blocked out and behind and off of Gabriel Gomez. There's going to be a final change here for Belgium, and it's going to be a rare sight of the lesser-spotted Nasser Chadli, who hasn't played much at all in the last 12 months or so for West Bromwich Albion. 6 games all season in total. He missed plenty of it. He's missed Albion's relegation, of course. He missed Euro 2016 as well, and he's coming on for Axel Witsel.
He's not going to play much in this game either, I can assure you.
It'll be a few moments. £17 million he's up for grabs for if someone wants to pick him up from West Brom.
I suppose in-play betting, they'll be seeing whether he gets a touch at all, because he may not.
We're about to head into added time. They have a corner. Hazard's going to take it. It's away that time by Roman Torres from inside the penalty area. It looked like there was a handball there from Moussa Dembele, and the Panamanians have taken the free kick fairly quickly. They're up to halfway. Tejeda has made a decent run forward here. He's got the ball at feet. Now he looks for some support. Was there a foul? Referee says no. It's picked up by Ismail Diaz. And Belgium have it back midway inside their own half. 4 minutes added on at the end of this game then. It's the World Cup live on TalkSport 2. Belgium leading Panama by 3-0 in Group G. The countdown is on to England's campaign kicking off. That's live over on TalkSport from 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's the big game tonight for everybody in England, but this has kind of set the tone for it now. There's a 3-0 win. You know, everybody will be wanting a similar, well, it's a similar performance, and sometimes you get carried away with the performance. It is the result that matters, and Belgium might not be thinking he gets his touch anyway, Chadli. You know, they might be thinking, well, they haven't played great. They'll play better against the better teams, no doubt.
Hazard gets it in down the left-hand edge of the penalty area. Here is Chadli. Chadli on the ball inside the penalty area. Tries to stab it across the face of goal towards Thorgan Hazard, who's come on as a substitute. De Bruyne then just flicks that ball on. Eden Hazard will keep it in on this near side. Murillo comes across and defends it well. And actually, the ball did go out of play. And it's going to be a goal kick to Panama away to our left-hand side.
I'm just going to, about that, you know, Roberto and his staff will analyse the performance, they'll analyse the game. Might not have been the best performance, but they've won. And that's it, it's your first game. You've won 3-0. March on.
When you see the problems that Germany and Brazil and Argentina and all those have had, all you can do is win your first game and move on.
Oh, absolutely.
And they are excellent at doing it in these World Cup competitions. Yeah. There's no two ways about that. Here come Panama forward on the left-hand side with Cooper. They're still trying, despite the fact we're 2 minutes into stoppage time. And I think Cooper's legs have just given up. And he said, actually, I can't really go any further forward. He got his 100th cap.
Cramp, I believe. It's his 100th cap.
He's got his 100th cap against Norway last time out, so this is 101, and he's going to finish it on the floor with cramp, I think. In the meantime, Lukaku is still marauding forward over on that far side. Oh, what an exaggerated dive to the floor by Romelu Lukaku. No foul, according to the referee. And Panama, well, they've tried to launch one from halfway over the top of Courtois, who just puts his left arm up and tips it over the crossbar. That would have been extraordinary, but I think the referee has actually stopped play, and there's a stretcher needed for Cooper on the far side.
Well, that was almost a wow moment, but I thought he was just trying to kick it out so he could get his treatment. But it's a great effort. He's treated it with contempt as well with his left hand. He saved it.
In amongst the noise, very hard to hear the referee's whistle there, that's for sure. Stuart Pearce will be part of our commentary team, of course, with Jim Proudfoot and Mark Saggers over on TalkSport from 6 o'clock as we build up to kick off with England. I was a little concerned, actually, Mick, because earlier today on our social media, Stuart Pearce was broadcasting topless, and I was worried you may turn up Really gone to town in this second half. Romelu Lukaku delivering with two wonderful, wonderful goals. On that far side, Panama just trying to find their way back into this game. And, well, Mertens was an absolute peach of a hit on the volley. Here come Panama, though. Can they get that historic first goal in the World Cup finals? It ricochets around in the box, and you can hear the Panamanian fans just increase the noise levels as they thought for a moment that first goal was coming. But unfortunately not. And Gianni Sikazdi, our Zambian referee, blows his whistle. 2 goals from Romelu Lukaku, who sinks to his knees in the centre of the pitch here in Sochi. His goal and one from Dries Mertens, a real pearler of a strike as well, have meant that Belgium have